Thank you very much, David. Good evening, Barbados. I wish to take this opportunity to speak very briefly about the Grant Lee Adams International Airport and the changes that have been made, first of all, to our travel entry protocols in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, and the changes that have been made at the Grant Lee Adams International Airport itself in terms of the entry and the arrival processes. Now, I think over the last few weeks or so, we have been working to address some of the congestion issues, and there are a couple of pressure points that I want to speak specifically to. A number of visitors coming from our primary source markets have expressed difficulties with being able to access the appropriate test to enter Barbados. Many Barbadians as well, returning home from travel, visiting family and friends, and students coming home on holiday to join their family here, have expressed difficulty, in particular coming out of the North American markets, to access the PCR tests required for Barbados. We have seen, as mentioned by Minister Gooding-Edgell, that all across the Caribbean there are examples where the rapid antigen test has been used. The US a few months ago began to accept rapid antigen as an entry test, as did the UK, and Canada became one of the only markets which still required a PCR test for entry. What that meant for travelers was that it became very difficult to identify a site where they could get the specific test required for Barbados. And the result of that, once arriving here in Barbados, was that significant numbers of persons were found to have an unacceptable test, and that resulted in retesting at the Grant Lee Adams International Airport at the gate 14 to 16 area. By transitioning under the direction of the EOC and the Ministry of Health to accepting rapid antigen, as is done in countries all around the world, that immediately eases that challenge, and travelers can avoid now incurring the cost in some instances of accessing, first of all, a PCR test, and in some instances having to repeat that test on more than one occasion. And so we're very happy to be able to afford visitors that ease of entry to Barbados while maintaining the safety at our borders. What that has meant is that the change to be made in terms of moving from gate 14 to 16 back to the arrivals hall is a significant change in the process flow to the airport. Now, gate 14 to 16 was not designed for what it was, but we're very happy that the management and staff of the Grant Lee Adams International Airport were able to accommodate the Ministry of Health in that area for the last 2 years. We began it last night. We're accepting passengers now getting off of their aircraft and walking via gate 13 down to gate 9 through the arrivals hall, and anything above gate 13 through 16 on the western side of the runway, we will still have to use transportation because there is quite a distance. But for all passengers landing, for the majority of passengers landing in Barbados now, there will no longer be the use of the buses, which were being used only to facilitate transit to gate 14 to 16. And so now persons will be traveling directly from the aircraft on foot via the walkway at the airport. The immigration and the customs teams, I want to take a moment to commend them as well. They have worked extensively with us over the last few weeks, and we expect that within another couple of weeks, we should have an updated advanced online ED form. The new version 2 is being prepared. I believe that over the course of this weekend, that draft is going to be presented to Minister Abrams, Minister of Home Affairs, for review, and then we should have the final collaboration completed during the course of the coming weeks with JRCC at the regional level to make sure that we are in place with the Advanced Passenger Information System. That, we expect, will further ease the movement through the arrivals hall for passengers. There has also been a further collaboration with our customs team, and we're hoping to be able to work even more closely with all of the customer service agents. We want to thank them for all that they have been able to do at the Grant Lee Adams International Airport. Finally, I wish to share that we have begun to consult, as at yesterday, with all of our travel partners. We met with all of our travel partners from all of the major markets yesterday afternoon, and we have begun to notify in all of the markets as at yesterday afternoon, and continuing over the course of the coming days to update all of our travel partners, travel operators, tour operators, and all of our airline partners have already been notified in partnership with our overseas offices of the new changes, and they have received these changes warmly. So finally, I just want to thank everyone at the Ministry of Health for working with us, Minister Gooding-Edgell for his leadership, and we want to continue to encourage Barbadians to be cooperative with officials at the Grantley Adams International Airport so we can ensure that you have the best possible arrival experience when you land at Grantley Adams International Airport. Thank you.